We'll turn to questions.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Hard fought game. And, certainly either team could have won that game. I felt like we had more chances, and I think when you're the home team, you got to find a way to win that game. But, Brock put a good barrel on the ball there at the end. We had a couple balls land, like a foot foul. Turk's ball hits off the pitcher's foot and, goes right back to him for an out. I thought we had more opportunities than they did late. Really proud of the way our guys battled, especially Cam and Nasi. Nick Kurtz is banged up right now. He finds a way to homer. Tins is banged up right now. Turk is banged up right now. So we're kind of a little, we didn't have Pierce Bennett all weekend, but we fought and battled and, came out of it 1-1-1. But, two good baseball teams who played at a really high level this weekend, and disappointed we didn't find a way to win, but really proud of our toughness and our effort.
Tom, what was the communication leading up to the 4:45 time, and what went into the decision there to cut it off?
Louisville's flight. We'd set that's a time that gets set, before the weekend even starts. So that's, firm. That's why we moved it up to 12:30, truthfully, so we can make sure we got a full game in and didn't have to, end even earlier. So yeah, it was one of those things where, I feel like we had more pitching left than they did, quite honestly. But again, it was a tough game. And how it works basically, Connor, is that, if the inning ends and it's 4:44 when the last out is made, then you play another inning. And if it's 4:45 or later, you don't.
And is that NCAA or ACC or what?
It's ACC, and it's really depending on, where you're located and how far from the airport you are. The league office, basically makes a ruling, based on, again, obviously if you're flying out of Greensboro, you got a different curfew than you do if you're flying out of Charlotte. So it's all just based on. Louisville's flight was supposed to be like at 8:20, but the airline moved it up to 7:50. So, with Charlotte, and getting there, you feel like 3 hours before flight time is about the right number to make sure those guys get on that flight. I had talked to Dan earlier in the weekend about his ability to bus home, quite honestly, and or stay till Monday, and neither one of those were an option, unfortunately.
Is the best way to describe this feeling basically hollow?
Yeah, I think that's probably a pretty good word. Again, disappointed, proud of our guys and the way they battled, but certainly disappointed we didn't come out of there with a series win.
From a macro perspective, what do you think splitting a series with a top 10 ranked Louisville program, what do you think that does for you in terms of both the tournaments you want to be playing in, in the next month or two?
Yeah, I think, quite honestly, whether we, if we had won today, obviously that'd have been a big, but to tie, I still feel like, we need to go 3-3 in our last 6 conference games to sleep well at night the night before. Is there a chance that 2-4 gets us in? I think there's a chance 2-4 gets us in, but I won't sleep well. So, winning 3 of our last 6 conference games, I think puts us on really firm footing. But hopefully win more net.
Talked about Nick Kurtz's home run to tie it. Just how big was he this series and then today, both in the field and then with that game tying home run?
Yeah, huge. I mean, the at bat before, you saw he wasn't feeling real good and he tried to kind of bunt. We weren't even sure he could swing. And, I went up to him and I was like, man, I need to know because we can pitch hit for you here. And he was like, you're not pinch hitting for me. I'm going to hit a home run and tie this game. And he did. He's a special player. He's a special young man and a special player.
That stubbornness also applied to Cam throwing about 70 pitches.
Yeah, he was. If it hadn't been a curfew, he would have been back out there because he wasn't going to let us. He wasn't going to let us take him out of the game. I mean, he was ready to throw 100 pitches if need be to help the ball club win. So yeah, I mean, between Turk and Tinney and Kirksey and Cam, I mean, just the unbelievable display of toughness.
Does that make this even tougher to digest? Like everything that went into this and the guttiness that goes into it, and there's no reward, and there's not even an outcome.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, I still think, people are going to look at that game as, they're going to look at this series as what it was, that, Louisville and Wake Forest are dead even, as far as bar clubs are concerned, and both, in my opinion, NCAA caliber teams. So I do think that a weekend like this certainly doesn't hurt our resume by any stretch.
You referenced Pierce Bennett. What's his prognosis for the coming days?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully Friday, Carolina. He was a little better today than yesterday. He had the 2 days ago, he wasn't any better, which was a little concerning. But today he was kind of starting to feel better for the first time. So I'm hoping for Friday at Carolina for sure.
Anything else for Coach, guys? Thanks, Coach. Appreciate your time.
All right, thanks, guys.